Here's what I'm not buying this Christmas. Christmas is coming. There's a lot of talk about what people are buying and what you must buy, but you know what? You actually don't have to. Consumerism is the air we breathe, but guess what? You are more than a consumer. You can have a beautiful and meaningful Christmas without buying all the cute stuff hitting the shelves at your favorite stores, without finding the best vintage things at your local thrift shops. I get it. I enjoy the thrill of the hunt as much as the next person, and I love a good deal. But whether I paid full price or I got something on sale, if I'm buying things I don't need, and if I'm buying things just for the sake of buying things, or because someone else thinks I should have it because they think it's cute, that's kind of messed up. You're not gonna find fulfillment in having all the things. And I want to let you in on a little secret, okay? You can appreciate something without owning it. It's true. You can find something beautiful and you can enjoy it without it actually being yours. There's no end to the amount of beauty in the world. You can't have it all. You should seek to make your corner of the earth that you inhabit a place of beauty and blessing, but you don't have to spend a lot of money to do that. So I want to share with you 15 things that I'm not buying this Christmas. And let me know in the comments if you disagree with me and you do like spending money on some of these things. That's your decision. We can make different decisions and come to different conclusions, but I just want to encourage you to take a step back. Just think before you buy. You're not just trading your money for goods. You are trading your money for something that you have to take care of, something that you have to have space to display it, and then space to store it when the Christmas season is over. And you're trading carrying a heavier mental load that comes with all the keeping track of the stuff. The more stuff you have, the more work it is. So the first thing is advent calendars. And this is something that has become a very weird phenomenon, in my opinion. When I was a kid, the only kind of advent calendar you could buy consisted of 24 cheap, waxy chocolates hiding behind paper doors. It cost $1, and I begged my mom for one. She bought it for me. I hung it proudly on my bedroom wall. It was the greatest joy to discover what shape of chocolate I was gonna find behind that numbered door each morning. And then the pièce de résistance, a big piece of chocolate on Christmas Eve. It was a big Santa, twice as big as the other chocolates. If I could still buy $1 chocolate advent calendars, I'd get them for my kids. But chocolate advent calendars today are $10 to $20. You guys, you might not know this. I have 6 kids. $10 to $20 advent calendars, that is not happening in this house. Never mind the myriad of other advent calendar options out there, because they're not just for kids anymore, right? You can get advent calendars with books and Lego and skincare and candles and tea and beer and wine and whatever else you can think of. You could probably buy an advent calendar for that. I understand wanting a treat. It's nice to have a little treat, a little something to make the day special, but you can do that in ways that cost you nothing or things that cost very little. Advent calendars have become a huge market, and they're often a really bad value for what you're getting too. As an example, my son was interested in getting a tea advent calendar because it was on sale for, I think, 30% off or something like that. So he went into the store to pick one up. He didn't know what the price actually was. He just knew it was on sale. And he got there and it was $50 on sale for 24 servings of tea. That's a bad value. I don't care how you break it down. More than $2 per serving of tea, you're not getting a deal. He didn't buy it because he's a smart kid. Number 2 is scented candles. I know that I am in the minority as someone who does not like scented candles. They're everywhere. And everyone's trying to tell you which is the most amazing, best scent that you could possibly buy. It's fine. People can like these things. The thing is, most scents give me a headache. So our house is as scent-free as possible. I used to love scented stuff too, but my husband, he's the one who had sensitivity to fragrance, and so I stopped using anything with a smell in order to help him because I didn't want to make him sick. And then as a result, I became sensitive to fragrances just because I wasn't exposed to them anymore. And I found out that fragrance chemicals are actually really bad for your health. They can trigger asthma and allergies and cause headaches, which is what our experience has been. And they've been shown to be endocrine disruptors, which basically means they upset your hormonal balance. Bottom line, they're bad for you. whether they trigger negative symptoms or not. So I don't buy scented candles. I do love candles, but I buy unscented, cleaner burning options like beeswax or soy candles. And if you want your home to smell nice without a scented candle, there are healthier options out there. You could put together a simmer pot with some citrus slices and some warm spices like cinnamon and cloves and nutmeg, or just bake something. That's always going to smell good. Number 3 is Christmas jammies. Now you could add matching sweaters to this. Basically, I'm talking about anything that is family coordinated clothing. I don't know, social media has done weird things to our consumption habits. And I see moms posting photos of the entire family in their matching PJs, and then it becomes this Christmas staple that we all must be similarly clothed for a family Christmas photo. And I just want to suggest that maybe we can be a beautiful and happy family without wearing the same pajamas. I think it's worked in the past. But I nearly went down this trail a few years ago, but I would challenge you to try finding pajamas for, at the time it was 7 people in all the different sizes. It was nearly impossible. Plus, it would have been stupid expensive, and most of the people in my family would not have wanted to wear them for the photo op, never mind ever wear them again. I'm just not going to spend a couple $100 on matching PJs because it's cute. I'm sorry. Remember, this is me. If this is something your family genuinely likes, then go for it. But remember, you don't have to do this. Number 4 is gingerbread house kits. Now, I might be starting to seem a little bit grinchy. I promise I do like Christmas, but these two have gotten so expensive. When my kids were younger, I'm sure it was pretty standard that gingerbread houses didn't cost more than $10, and now they're easily $20. And I could probably, maybe, justify spending that kind of money on something if it actually tasted good, but they're so gross. They have rock hard gingerbread, and the candy it doesn't taste good, so just no thanks. We like decorating food, so every year we bake cookies, we make them delicious, we have fun decorating them, and we enjoy eating the fruits of our labor. But to spend $20, on gingerbread, that's just like rock hard cardboard, just so I can throw it out with the gross candy in the trash later, no thanks. I'll save the $20. Number 5 is inflatable lawn decorations. I don't have a lot to say on this one. This is just really a personal preference. I don't like them. I don't think they look fun or festive, and I find them unattractive and unappealing when they're blown up outdoors, and then you have to pack them up and store them away for the remainder of the year. It's just a no for me. Number 6 is trending decor. Apparently, last year, there was a trend with a 6-foot-tall nutcracker at Walmart. Everyone was buying it and doing custom paint jobs. First of all, circling back to the point I made earlier about how you can appreciate something without owning it, you can like giant nutcrackers. You can appreciate people painting them creatively, and you can do all of that without owning one yourself. And serious question, are nutcrackers so meaningful to you that you need to have one as big as a human being? I don't understand. Secondly, where are people storing these things for the other 11 months of the year? Or 10 if you start decorating in November. We are a larger than average size family in a very average size house. I honestly don't know where people store all of their seasonal decorations, and I would guess that people who have giant Christmas decor also might have 20-foot skeletons from Halloween lurking in their garage. I personally have other priorities for my storage spaces, like actually fitting a vehicle in my garage for the winter. Number 7 is Christmas throw blankets and pillows. I just want to argue there's something to be said for decor that is understated and a little bit timeless. Do boldly colored pillows with Christmas sentiments feel festive? Yeah, sure, I'll give you that. A Merry Christmas pillow or what have you, it's seasonal, it's cozy, but its time is very limited. The days you can have that out on your couch are numbered. So I like to have pillows and blankets in my home that aren't holiday specific, but rather they're more seasonal. So I have throw pillows on our couch that I got from IKEA, and I have a number of different covers for these pillows, and I just switch them out with the seasons. So I have some that feel a little more cozy to me. I've got some with gold dots and green velvet, and I put them on for winter, not just for Christmas. And then in the spring, I switch them out for brighter colors like pinks and greens. Summer and fall come around, I swap out the covers again. And a few pillow covers take up a lot less space than throw pillows themselves. Same goes for blankets. We live in Canada. Winter is long and cold. So I do like having blankets around to be cozy, but they don't have to be limited to something we'll only use in December. I don't want to store that stuff. Number 8 is stockings and stocking stuffers. I do actually sort of like the idea of stockings. Like, I like that you can put stuff inside of them that can be useful and thoughtful, and it doesn't have to cost a lot. But then stuffing the stockings takes a lot of work. Like, those suckers can hold a lot. And like I mentioned, we have 6 kids. That would be a lot of stuff. And often stocking stuffers, they can tend to just be clutter because you have some good ideas and then you realize it's not full enough. So then you just go buy a bunch of stuff to fill it up. It's just clutter, right? Like little stuff that's gonna get left laying around the house by multiple people. I'm gonna pass. I have a hard enough time figuring out regular gifts to buy for people. I'm not a naturally gifted gift giver, so stockings are just something we don't do. I might consider it in the future. I have thought about it if stockings became the vehicle for all of the gift giving, but as just a bonus cache of tiny extra things. No, thank you. Number 9 is faux greenery. You can find some very realistic looking faux greenery already. Like, they can do amazing things with plastic, can they not? It's the volume for me that's the problem. Whether it's having many artificial Christmas trees all over your house, or styling your bookshelves or mantle or whatever with green garland and stems and picks and I don't know the terms. It's all so excessive. I do have some fake greenery garlands, and I've had them for over 10 years. They are not particularly realistic looking. In fact, they look rather fake, but they're green, which is nice. They do the job. It's enough. So much of the stuff out there that we're being encouraged to buy, I look at it and I'm like, well, sure, it's nice, but I have enough. What happens to this stuff when we get tired of it? How much of our old, tired-looking decor can thrift stores really take? They have too much stuff. And if we keep buying stuff, manufacturers are gonna keep making it. Eventually, all those realistic-looking tree branches, they're just headed for the landfill. At some point, I think we've got to just say, it's enough. I've got enough. I don't need to buy anymore. Same goes for tree decorations and ornaments. Apparently, it's a thing that people change the entire theme of their tree every year and just get rid of the old stuff. Is that true? Somebody make this make sense to me, because I don't get it. Number 10 is Christmas crackers. Now, these were never a tradition in my family growing up. I think we did them one year, but some people do them every year. It's a tradition. If you're not familiar with what Christmas crackers are, they're basically these little tubes. They look like a giant wrapped candy, and then you pull the ends apart and it makes this cracking sound, and inside you find some sort of prize, like a paper crown or a toy, or there's all manner of things inside these now, like advent calendars. The thing is, it's a completely unnecessary expense in my eyes, and the prizes inside are just cheap dollar store junk that's either gonna end up in the garbage, or it might become a prized possession to your 4-year-old that you can never throw away, but you always have to clean up because they actually don't care about it, but they think it's super important. I'm gonna just save my money, and this is not a tradition for us. Number 11 is Christmas dishes. This could be plates and bowls and mugs and serving trays with snowmen on them, or idyllic winter scenes, or candy bowls shaped like wrapped bonbons and tree-shaped charcuterie boards. There's no end to the amount of stuff that you can buy to make your kitchen look a little more Christmassy. And it all takes up space, right? Like, how big is your kitchen? How much room do you have to store dishes that you don't use for 11 months of the year? For me, space is at a premium, so I don't buy Christmas-themed dishes. I don't have the space for them. They are unnecessary. I can serve food at Christmas on the same things that I serve food on at the rest of the year. Like, I buy white serving dishes because it's always gonna look timeless, whether it's Christmas or Easter or just a random supper on a Wednesday. And number 12 is in that same vein with the kitchen. It's seasonal kitchen textiles. This is a broad category again, but I'm talking about tea towels, oven mitts, pot holders, aprons. You guys, you can make your kitchen cozy and festive without all this extra stuff. Do you love red? Well, then maybe you could get some red items that you could use at other times of the year. It doesn't have to be expressly Christmas themed. And the holiday themed textiles have to be stored when Christmas is over. And are you even gonna like them next year when you pull them out of the box? Or would you donate them and buy something new and cuter? Just think, I just wanna save my money and I'll use what I have. I can make my Christmas vibe in my kitchen come from cookies or something. Number 13 is fairy tale things. Whether it's gnomes or elves or any other cutesy fairy tale creature, it is a hard pass from me. I don't like them. I find them tacky and you won't find them in my house.
Attention all! Fairy tale things. Do not get comfortable. Your welcome is officially worn out.
As far as Elf on the Shelf goes, I don't know who has time for that nonsense. If you actually do that, hats off to you. You've got a lot of energy. Number 14, endless craft supplies. I am not saying I won't buy any craft supplies, but I want to be very careful that my ambition doesn't outweigh my execution here. For some reason, Christmas season kicks in and my DIY instinct just goes into overdrive. I'm watching all of the content about things that I could be crafting and sewing. That's not actually how I spend my time though. I am not a crafter. I'm a craft dabbler. I make things every now and then, but it is not typically how I would spend my downtime. So for me, to go to the grocery store, the dollar store, the craft store, just start throwing all the craft supplies in my cart because I think I'm suddenly gonna be that person who makes beautiful decorations and homemade gifts. I'm just lying to myself. That's not being honest about who I am and how much time I actually have to give to things like that right now at this point in my life. So if I'm gonna buy craft supplies, I'm gonna make a plan ahead of time. And I'm only gonna buy what I need because it would be very easy for me to spend an obscene amount of money on things that I actually won't use. And as an aside, I do have a question. Somebody help me out if you know. What do people do with all the crafts? Do they use them year after year? Like, are they so pleased with the things that they've made that they store them and then put the crafts out next year? Or do they just end up in the garbage so they can make new things? I want to understand the crafting mindset. I can't get behind crafting stuff just to get rid of it. But at some point, there has to be a threshold of all the precious things you've made, right? Help me out. Number 15 is things that are destined for the thrift store or the garbage. I just try to be really honest with myself about how much I actually want something. Do I know where I would put this thing? Not in general terms, but specifically, where is it going? Is there room for it? Do I like it enough to pack it away and store it for the 11 months after Christmas? And then will I like it enough to use it again next Christmas? When I pull it out, will I be like, oh, I'm so glad I bought that thing? Or will I think, what a waste of money. What an idiot I was to buy that. The thing is, we spend so much money on things that are disposable to us. Our disposable income is literally buying things that we're tossing in the trash. And either that or we're shipping it off to the thrift store and they have way more stuff than they know what to do with. So I don't know. If I don't appreciate something enough to keep it after the season that we're in, it's probably not a wise use of my money. I think most people are feeling pretty spread thin financially right now. Everything's costing more money, and yet we're still being encouraged to keep buying things as if that's gonna make it better. And you don't have to buy into that. You don't. You can be content with what you have. You can use last year's decorations. You can use the same decorations you've been using for the last 20 years. How's that for a thought? It's gonna be okay. You can have a meaningful Christmas without all the endless stuff being pushed on you. Christmas doesn't come from a store. We know that, right? Christmas means more than that. It's about celebrating God coming to earth as Jesus was born to save humanity from our sin. He was born to a teenage girl in a stable. It wasn't aesthetically pleasing. It was humble, but it brought a lot of glory to God. And I'm not saying stuff is bad. You've probably got a lot of stuff though, right? Just slow down and think twice. Don't go into debt or try to please other people with what you're buying. That's all I'm saying. Let me know in the comments what kinds of things you aren't going to be buying this Christmas season, and I'll see you next time.